readers, I'm Amy and I'm your nonfiction feminist. This is my husband Chris. Unfortunately, he's the funniest person I know. Say hello.
Hello.
Is that it?
What else? You literally just told me to say hello.
Okay. So, for this video, I have labeled a lot of my shelves, not all of them. So basically, if the shelf is labeled, it's free game. We are each going to be picking books off of the shelves while the other is blindfolded, and they have to guess what book it is in 20 questions. Don't look so miserable. I will start us off with the blindfold. It sounds... Is it a dystopia?
No.
Is it a science book?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a male author?
Yes.
Yes. Is it... let's see. Is it a food science book? Is it based on food?
Yes.
Omnivore's Dilemma?
Yes.
Ah, yes! Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan. It goes through, I want to say 4 food systems. So he goes through the process of how McDonald's food is made, how World Market gets its food, and eventually how to forage your own food. And he goes through the process and then he makes a meal at the end of each section. And I know I said 4 different things, but I can only remember 3 of them off the top of my head. But it's a very good book. A little bit dry here and there, but still a very digestible nonfiction. He's pickier about his hair than I am. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here.
Well, it's a thick book.
Mm-hmm. Very thick.
It's probably Stephen King.
Yes, maybe.
Is the protagonist a man?
Yes. Yes, it is a man.
Is the antagonist a creature?
I don't believe so.
Is the antagonist a person? Do you know anything about this book?
So? I don't.
So I'm going to be asking you questions about a book you have no concept of.
I have a slight concept of it. I've seen it in a few videos.
Then I'm just going to have to guess based on its thickness. Is it The Stand?
No, but you could ask if you've read it or not.
It?
No, it's not. You don't own a copy of it.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Is it Bag of Bones?
It's Bag of Bones, and you do not have a physical copy of it, or I would know about it.
Okay.
You can take off the blindfold. It's my turn. You have an audiobook of it. You do not have a physical copy of it. I know more about your shelf than you do. Okie doke. Wait, what is... Okay. Oh. Is this a classic?
It is.
Does it have the little gray thing saying it's a Barnes & Noble classic?
Perhaps.
Is the antagonist an animal?
I don't believe so. There may be in part of it.
Is it Moby Dick? Because the animal's definitely an antagonist in that one.
No.
It's not Moby Dick.
But some would argue that maybe the whale is not the antagonist. But
Is it or is it not Moby Dick?
No, it is not Moby Dick.
But it's one of my big books. Is it written by a female author?
No.
Is it a mystery book?
Yes.
Is it a Sherlock Holmes book?
Yes.
Is it volume 1?
Yes.
Ah, I just guessed on the volume 1 part. It's been a while since I've read Sherlock Holmes.
Don't you need to tell the people about the book?
As soon as I put my glasses on. And yes, for some reason you're having to remind me of that today. Sherlock Holmes. I have read a lot of these books. Or a lot of these stories. There was like a complete collection in a single volume in the library when I was growing up, but I never finished them because I got tired of reading more and more and more of the same author. So, but I have picked these up at a sale in the last 2 years, so I will finish the stories eventually. I have the perfect book for you.
That's a hefty one. Is it Stephen King?
It is not Stephen King, but it is a very hefty book. Although maybe it is a Stephen King. It might be a book about monsters. I do actually have your book here, though.
Okay. Is this book written post-World War II?
Yes.
Okay. Post-Vietnam?
When was Vietnam?
When was Vietnam?
I don't keep track of wars. That was never my area.
Right.
You're the
Was
military man. 1991. I only know about World War II.
Oh, William Clinton then, yeah, during...
Who's William Clinton?
Bill Clinton?
Oh, Bill Clinton.
So we had
Bill, not William.
Bush Sr. and then Bill Clinton.
Yeah, continue
Okay,
with your
anyway.
guessing.
Is this a fiction?
It is not a fiction.
It is non-fiction then. Is this based on infectious disease?
It is not.
No.
And your infectious disease book is a hardcover, sweetie.
Is this, let's see, does this have anything to do with animals?
Yes.
Animals that are extinct?
Yes.
So it is a book about dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are not the only extinct animals, but yes.
Well, I don't know any of the titles of my dinosaur books.
It's literally just called Dinosaur.
Oh,
and
then it is dinosaur.
It's the only dinosaur non-fiction book that you have.
Okay. Did you want to tell people about the dinosaur book?
I don't know anything about the dinosaur book.
It's your channel. This
is the dinosaur book. It is Chris's dinosaur book. I don't know anything about it except that it features dinosaurs. World-renowned expert David Norman on his grand tour of the Mesozoic era. Hadrosaurs, apatosaurs, stegosaurs, and the fearsome Tyrannosaurus rex. I'm not entirely sure what this dinosaur is on the cover, but it's very fierce looking. Kind of like my cats. Maybe it's related to my cats. Sorry, our cats. Well, one of them is our cat. The other one is really my cat. What to do, what to do. All right, we got your book here. Hands.
This is a big, hefty bastard here.
Yes, it is.
So it's either a classic or a Stephen King, or a collection of classics.
Well, you know it's a classic at least because it was pulled from the shelf behind you. But you need to ask yes or no questions.
Is it a classic?
Yes.
Is it a collection of tales?
Yes.
Fiction, I assume? Yeah, obviously.
I assume.
Fiction. Let's see. Was the author a terrible racist?
Yes.
Then, yes, then I know who this is. Jack London.
Yes.
And, I
And
am
what?
assuming it's just 6 or
It's
10.
Yeah, it's just Jack like it's called Jack London, complete and unabridged. Would you like to tell the audience about Jack London and his books?
Well, he used to write a lot of fiction, specifically these, I'm assuming these tales here. I don't know if he has the one about astral projection in this one or not, but
I didn't
I'm
know he
assuming
did an
they're-
astral projection.
they're focused specifically on animals. Yeah, the Call of the Wild, the Sea Wolf, White Fang, and so on.
What
So
was his
these,
astral projection?
So these focus primarily on animals, but more tell the tale of the change in society and of man in general, and survival of man in different settings. The problem that I have with the author is not with his work, but with his place in society at the time and his position on race specifically. The man was a horrid racist, and it's almost difficult to enjoy any of his work knowing his background as a bigot.
I just don't enjoy the work because I read Call of the Wild and the owner has his dear dog taken away from him, and I hate that because I'm a pet owner and I love my animals and I don't want them taken away from me. Yes, that's the main issue I have with that book. Okay.
Yeah, if you all have any idea about the history of boxing, you can look up how Jack London coined the term the Great White Hope.
Who was the Great White Hope?
It
Or was it just a general thing? I thought it was a specific person.
was a specific person. It was back when, I think it's Jack Johnson and...
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
They had a black heavyweight champion trying
Didn't
to
he,
face
like...
off against a retired white one.
Didn't he rock everyone's socks off?
A little bit. So,
On to lighter topics. No tickling! Rude!
it was an accident.
It was not an accident. You don't have accidents. Everything you do on purpose. Is it a dystopia?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a female author?
No.
No. So, is it a book about society and reproduction?
Perhaps.
Is it a white cover?
Perhaps.
Is it a book that I hated?
Very likely.
Brave New World. Yes? Stop
Yes.
it! What did I tell you about being rude? This is Brave New World. I hated this book because I found the writing to be boring and I didn't really understand a lot of points of the story. He enjoyed it because he's super smart and, like, understands this kind of stuff. But it was just not my dystopia. I have not done well with dystopian classics. I do better with women's classics. Do you have anything you would like to add? No?
No. I feel like I'm in English class.
What?
I feel like I'm in an English class.
Why are you in an English class?
Or literature.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, I was sitting around and the teacher's calling on me to make some kind of statement or point about a book, and I feel like I gotta say something
Because you're so smart.
deep and involved.
You always say things that are deep and involved.
Yeah, but that's because I choose to.
Can you just hand me the next book?
I could try.
Please? Can you pick something already? Are you
No.
gonna pick a Stephen King and make it hard on me?
No.
Ooh, Stephen King?
Yes.
Is it? And it's very small. Is this very small Stephen King book about a very small person?
Yes.
But it's not a person who's losing weight.
No.
Is it a...
Well, kind of. They do probably lose weight.
Is it a survival thriller about being lost in the woods?
Yes.
Is it about a baseball player whose name I constantly forget?
It's not about a baseball player.
You know what I mean. It's the girl who loved Tom Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I talked about this book in a video, I looked at the back to see who the baseball player was, and then I remembered that the baseball player's name is in the title. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon is a survival thriller about a little girl who gets lost in the woods. And there's also kind of this thing that follows her. Also, in that video where I talked about this, I think it was the Halloween song book tag, a surprising number of people have never heard of this book, which is astonishing to me. Not only should it be a very famous book because it is one of Stephen King's tiniest books, and he doesn't often not have a lot to say, but also it's a very decent thriller. It's nice to read a short Stephen King every now and then.
They made a pop-up book for it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to read that. Where was this? But, like, where in there? I have them in publication order.
Well, I think it was between La Mia Verde and Needful Things.
Oh yeah, fun fact, we have The Green Mile in Spanish. You said you never finished it, right?
No.
Okay. Well, this has been... Stop tickling my knee! This has been 20 Questions with Chris and Amy. Please like, subscribe, and be my friend. Ring the notification bell down below. You can also be his friend if you want to. I don't know why you would want to be his friend, but whatever. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.